So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
It was pretty obvious that you wrote it.
Really? And in what way?
Well, I'm not sure. I've known you for a while now, and it just seems like you're telling the story.
I'm not that good a storyteller in person. And don't forget, it's your work too. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like to expand my horizons a little. What's the last thing you read, for instance? Anything interesting?
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours.
We'll try gentle persuasion to begin with. And now, to the task. Henry, you go to the town and squeeze anything that could help us out of Vavak.
Most importantly, get that key from him.
Then wait for us at Ruthard Palace, where we'll set up our base. We'll get there first thing in the morning.
And how are you going to get inside? The palace will be closed and may be guarded. I don't expect you want to march through the main entrance, where everyone can see you, and break the gate down while you're at it.
That's true, milady. What do you suggest?
There's not only a passageway to the church, but also down to the river. I know it like the back of my hand. I could show Henry the way if you like.
No offense, my lady, but you'll be safer here.
She's coming with me. Nobody knows Ruthard Palace as well as Lady Rosa.
Do you want to get into the court? Then you need Ruthard Palace. You want Ruthard Palace? Then I'm coming along.
All right. Both of you are going to town. And no dawdling. You should be on the road tomorrow at the latest. Time is of the essence.
That's that then. Let's get to work.
It looks like the two of us will be going to Kuttenberg alone.
I can hardly wait.
Aren't you looking forward to going home?
When they captured power, Von Bergov's people came to Ruthard Palace.
Did they do anything to you?
No, I wasn't harmed. But before they took me away, they ransacked the place. Then Von Bergov just took me to Malashov. It's likely Vavak took our home for himself. He's always threatened to do that.
Well, you can try. When we free your father, Ruthard Palace will be yours again.
I hope so, but that's still far from certain.
How do we even get inside Ruthard Palace?
Like I said, through the underground.
Well, I suppose by now I ought to know you don't have back doors here. Just secret passages, eh?
You are in mining country, you know. There's more going on here below ground than above.
How will I find the entrance this time? From the position of some cross again?
No, I'll guide you this time. It's just below the walls. You only need to know where to turn.
Are you ready to go?
There's no point in dallying.
Everything all right?
No. Don't you see how deep it is ahead of us?
I hope you don't expect me to carry you.
I most certainly do. Unless you want to prove to me that you really are an uncouth village oaf after all.
Well, what's to be done? I'll carry you over.
Don't worry, though. I'm not some fragile petal. Well, you said it was hardly knee-deep. This is not how one carries a lady, you barbarian.
Maybe not in Kuttenberg, but it's how we did it in Skalitz.
But it's not very comfortable.
Ah, just grin and bear it, my lady. We're almost there.
Look at all this mess. I can hardly recognize this place.
This doesn't look like the work of Avak's people. More like city rabble and beggars.
They're acting like they own the place. If Pa were to see this, we must get rid of them.
So you want me to get rid of them? But what will you do? I'm responsible for keeping you safe.
Don't you worry. You don't have to hold my hand in my own home. Do you see this ivy here? It goes all the way up to the window of my chamber. That's where I keep my crossbow. I bet that riffraff didn't find it. If I climb up there, I can cover you from above. Just in case.
If you say so. But if anything happens, hide. Got it?
All right. Now turn around so you can't see up my skirt.
Are you alright?
I am. For now. Are you all right, Henry? I think I hit one too.
You're a good shot. Capon and Kabianka wouldn't believe their eyes.
Thanks.
Is something wrong?
Someone's trying to break through the door.
Oh, damn it. I'll be there in a moment.
Be careful.
Load your crossbow, and if they get inside before I get there, shoot them.
I barricaded the door. I'm sure I can hold out for a while. You can come in now.
So, here we are. Welcome home.
It doesn't feel much like home anymore. They were behaving like animals in here.
Don't worry about the mess. Our boys will happily clean up once they get here. We owe you that.
The mess is the last thing on my mind. There was my mother's silver, my brother's hunting trophies, and my books. It's all gone.
Right. We've got a lot of work to do. But we'll get there. You'll see. We have to. There's a lot at stake.
That's true. You know, Henry, I want to ask you something. And I want an honest answer, all right? If everything were to go wrong at the Italian court, and God forbid you had to choose, would you still try to rescue my father, even if it meant putting stealing the silver in jeopardy?
It's not that simple, and you know it. Silver gives us a chance to force the king to back off quickly, but we need allies anyway. Because Sigismund's people won't stop defending his interests here.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you understand that. And that I can trust you not to leave my father behind if the plan goes awry.
If our plans succeed and your father is freed, do you know what will come next?
I try not to think about it.
Why? That's why you're helping us, isn't it?
If you get the king's silver, my father and I will have to hide. Leave the region, go somewhere out of Sigismund's men's reach, and you and I will have to part ways.
Maybe it won't be necessary. As soon as Jobst and his troops arrive, you'll be safe again.
Maybe. But your duties are elsewhere. Capon's estate is in Ratai. Besides, he'll be getting married, and you'll surely be accompanying him. Why should my father and I stay here anyway? What do we have left?
He'll be all right.
My father would clap you in irons for that.
And for this?
Oh, it seems you know how a lady should be carried.
Where to, ma'am? I don't see any rivers, ditches, or puddles to cross.
Dami castitatem e continentiam, sed non le moro. Forward, Sir Knight.
You know about yesterday evening? And night?
What about it?
I thought maybe you want to talk about it.
Do you think there's anything to talk about?
Well, what's next for us?
Nothing, most likely. I'm Lord Ruthard's daughter. Our name still means a lot, despite all the trouble we're in. When my pa is free and an opportunity presents itself, I'll have to get married.
Has your father already picked a groom for you?
Not yet, but I know how it goes. If I'm lucky, I'll marry a young nobleman and soon bear him a bunch of children. And if I'm really lucky, they'll find me some old man who will drop dead before we even leave the church.
I'll marry you then.
What?
If we can free your father, I could ask him for your hand in marriage, even under threat that he'll go back under lock and key if he refuses.
I don't think he'd allow it either way. Lord Ruthard's daughter, and the bastard son of the Lord of Skalitz, who was driven out of his estate by Sigismund himself. That's not going to happen. Although, our plan may very well fail, and no one might survive. Why throw something nice away prematurely? You know, carpe diem et memento mori.
Well, if that's how you feel.
Henry?
Papa!
My dear.
Father.
You took care of your brother. Now you took care of me. I was wrong about you, son.
I'm glad you've made peace.
Me too. More than you can imagine.
It's taken a long time. Far too long.
Thanks, Henry.
We both thank you.
Henry, thank you.
Can I do anything for you?
We don't have time for proper thanks. But one thing crossed my mind. If you have the time, you could have a look in King Wenceslas' library. It's somewhere upstairs in the palace. I've heard there are unique manuscripts there, and I expect he won't mind if you borrow a few books from there.
What will you do now?
We'll go back to Ruthard Palace and wait for you all there. That passageway is frightening. But what the hell? And then I suppose we'll ride out with you. Nothing good awaits us in this town anymore.
So it was a success.
That's a weight off my shoulders. I'm so glad my faith in you wasn't misplaced. That you didn't disappoint me after all we'd been through.
So, farewell for now, Rosa.
Good luck. I'll pray for you all, Henry.
But they will be soon. Ruthard and the other lords are going to Podiebrad. Jobst's army is amassing near there. So they will relay the message to him.
Can we rely on them?
Certainly. As soon as Jobst sends the last of Sigismund's lackeys packing, Ruthard and the others will return to power. You know what? It might not be a bad idea if you reminded them of who they should thank for yesterday. They're getting ready in the Outer Bailey to ride out.
Sure. I'll have a word with them.
And don't forget to stop by and see your Rosa, too. She was asking about you.
Henry!
So you're leaving?
Yes, thank God. After all that's happened.
I'll miss you. Too bad we didn't have more time together.
Maybe this won't be the last time we see each other. If you ever happen to travel around Podiebrad, I'd be pleased to see you again.
I hear you're going to Podiebrad.
We have kin there. We can't return to Kuttenberg for the time being.
All right. I'll see the wagon is ready. Well, have a safe journey.
Is this how you're going to bid farewell to me after all of this?
Can you think of anything better?
How about this? I won't forget you, Henry.
Nor are you.
Stay the way you are, and keep fighting the good fight.
See you soon, God willing. That idle king of ours is not going to free himself.
Time to get boozing!